Now, I think this is a first for Sunday Breakfast. We've got a comedy show, but it's a comedy show with a difference. October the 21st marks the return of the hilarious Super Muslim comedy tour, which platforms the comedic superpowers of Muslims, entertainers, and their side splitting performances. Now, that's what the poster says, and it's also for a good cause. The annual tour, which received a prize at the 2022 British Muslim Awards, is organised by Penny Appeal, an international humanitarian charity working in over 30 countries nationwide. Now, the proceeds of this year's tour will benefit people affected who'd lost their livelihoods due to the recent Pakistan floods. Now, let's find out more about the Penny Appeal and the tour, which arrives in Birmingham tonight with one of the performers, the hilarious Preacher Moss. Good morning, Preacher Moss.
Good morning to you, my dear sister. How are you doing?
I am very, very good. Now, I think I should start by saying, what's going on? Just to hear your replies. I will do that. What's going on, Preacher Moss?
You make me feel like Marvin Gaye. What's going on?
I did almost sing it, but I thought you don't need that at this time in the morning.
And I know some kids are going, what are they talking about? What's going on? What's going on? You know what? We are blessed. We are in full effect. We're on the road. We are headed to Birmingham, one of my favorite cities.
Excellent.
To effectively bring the fun, bring the laughter, but also raise awareness that there are people who are suffering right now.
Absolutely.
And we're trying to bring it in the best tradition we can. I was saying to a friend earlier this morning, I said, we're asking people to understand that people have lost livelihoods. They've been really, really dispossessed of their homes. A lot of infrastructure has to be built. They need clean water. But we're saying, hey, we need that money, but we're gonna trade the laughs for the money. So I said,
like a good deal.
I've been robbed several times, but I probably feel bad if the person that held me up was like, give me your money, and like told me a knock-knock joke. I mean, that's a funny criminal. All right.
Yeah. Well, I am sure people will be happy to hand their money over to you. They won't be feeling robbed. Because can you just tell us, before we talk about the actual show, which sounds like it's going to be an absolute corker, what is the Penny Appeal and how did it all start?
Penny Appeal started with this about 7 years ago with the Super Muslim Comedy Tour with Adeem Yunus. And they started out with a very, very funny comedian named Omar Regan. And it was just this idea, a very, very organic idea that we could go out and get people to come out and laugh. And it had actually been a proven model. I started with a comedy tour back in 2003. It came to the UK in 2005. It was called Allah Made Me Funny. And we toured the world with Allah Made Me Funny. United States, the UK has always been a blessing to us. So it kind of paved the way to be able to do Super Muslim Comedy Tour going back to 2015. But we had been out doing this with charities and things like that. And it just so happened that we say the stars aligned. And so here we had Penny Appeal. We had a growth of Muslim comedians. And this just follows a prophetic narrative about really caring and finding out about your brothers and sisters and what they need. No. This is a model where we're dealing with, people who are dealing with catastrophic things, but also this is the model where you go check on your neighbor next door. Are you okay? Are you hungry? Do you need anything? So that's really the spirit of the tour.
Well, I couldn't think of a much better cause than that. Now, you mentioned that you were quite excited about some of the names on the bill. Who are your personal favorites and ones that we should be looking out for?
Well, the heavy hitters, Brother Azim Muhammad. Azim was one of the original members on Allah Made Me Funny. And we toured, so it's fun. That's like my little brother. So you can imagine your little brother on tour with you as a comedian. We're already bickering about funny stuff. Pitts Abdi, who is a phenomenal UK comedian. He's been doing this for a number of years. Jeff Mirza, who I met when we first came to the UK. So you have a plethora of people. The host, Brother Muhammad, is amazing. And let's just give a shout out, sis. Let's just give a shout out to the UK comedy audience overall. Not the Muslim comedy audience, because we have that. but overall.
Absolutely, we'll
So
take
you
that.
know, it's a marriage where you can't get divorced. How about that?
I love it. The band of gold, but instead of gold, we're going to put it in towards the penny appeal. And of course, there is you, Preacher Moss, the founder of Allah Made Me Funny, the official Muslim comedy tour. What can we expect from you tonight as well?
I take people back. I grew up doing stand up. There was no social media. There was no internet. If you had to find something, you had to get in the yellow pages. Like I tell people back when I grew up, if you took a picture of yourself, it wasn't a selfie. It was just selfish. I'm that guy.
Okay.
I'm the OG of Muslim comedy, and I do relationship comedy.
Okay.
So it's like I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to talk to you in the best way. And we're going to have fun, and it's fun because I'm the comedian that has people that come back and they say, when I saw you, my son was 8. Now he's 18. I'm like, thank you, lady. You make me feel very old. God bless you.
Well, there'll be memories
but I'm
for
that
you.
guy,
And then bullying your little brother in comedy as well. We look for it. Sounds like a very family relational affair. Preacher Moss, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning to talk about it. That's exciting.
Thank you.
You take
care. And do me
care.
a favor.
Yep.
Do me a favor. Have an excellent day.
I certainly will. Thank you. That's the Super Muslim Comedy Tour. It arrives in Birmingham tonight, raising money for a great cause through the Penny Appeal. I'm going to hear Preacher Moss.